I'm going to start a little demo that I have for all of you. I'm going to do that. Now, you guys can see me, right? Everybody, yes?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. And I'm here with a business associate that I'm very glad came to join me today. Eileen is here, so she's going to keep me on track. And my husband can't join us today, so I apologize for that. I ended up being up in the Twin Cities, and I get to help my daughter. They just are in process of adopting 3 kids, so I'm here helping them. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jackie Koytza, and I'm a NutraMetrix consultant. So I'm going to do a Wellness 101 right from the beginning as I do them in our home and in our business partner's home and even in doctor's offices. So what's going to happen, I'll let you know a little bit about the format. We are going to start, I'm going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to hop on to some PowerPoint slides, and we're going to go over wellness surveys and things like that. And then from there, we're actually going to use a video from Dr. Sheryl Duchess. There's a couple of them that we're going to go through. She's going to go over some products, and then I'm going to come back and wrap it up at the end. So most of the time, you're just going to be seeing the screen. And if there's a problem, if you just see me and you're not seeing the slides, wave at me or something, okay, you guys, so I can fix whatever isn't working right. I do believe we are recording, so we should be in good shape. So with the demo, what I want to show you guys is what I'm doing, and Dr. Sheryl Duchess will talk about this. I'm actually using this little pudding, the snack pack puddings, and what I did is I took a packet of our digestive enzymes, which I already ripped open, sorry about that, and I dumped that on the top. And what I'm going to do is just kind of fold it in. I'm not going to stir it in, you know, real much, but I'm going to fold that in. And we're going to come back to that at the end because Dr. Duchess is going to talk about our digestive enzymes and how they actually help us break down our foods. All right. So that is the demo that we get started. I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen. So you're not going to be looking at my lovely face all day. Let's see here. Not that one. Oh, now I wonder if I made it disappear. Hold on just a second, you guys. Trying to grab all of them. What we're going to do is go over the wellness survey. And I did not put that on the website. But what I want to welcome everyone, and I know we've got some business owners, and hopefully you guys were able to invite some guests. So any of the guests that are actually on here, you will be able to get these downloads from the person that invited you, and then you're going to be able to go ahead and I'm sorry, I'm waiting for this darn thing. You'll be able to go ahead and do the survey with your person. And here we go. Oh, whoops. Now you see it, now you don't. How about that? Oops. You're going to be able to go through the Wellness 101 with the person that invited you on. And then, here we go. We're going to just go over it quickly. So hopefully you guys can see it at least a little bit from your screens. But the first question is really important. And I want you guys to think about this. It's if there's one thing you would change about your health or could change about your health today or prevent in the future, what would that be? And for me, that is just really being full of vitality and life. As I mentioned before, our daughter and son-in-law are in the process of adopting 3 children. So I want to be able to be active and get down and dirty with them and be able to bend over and lift up and put down heavy things, that being children in my life right now, okay? As well as some of the workout classes that I'm going to want to do. So what is it for you? You know, maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you're looking for more energy. Maybe you're not sleeping well. Any of those things. And we're going to go through this list real quickly. All right. So put that down. Make sure that you answer that for the person that invited you or yourself. Okay. Energy. And as we go through this, on the right side, you're going to see there's a column for you. There's a column for friends and family. And what we want to do, all of us that are on here today are really passionate about helping people. And we want to get people feeling good. I think there's a lot of people out there that think, well, I feel good and it's just natural and it's an aging process. And in my opinion, a lot of people are just given into that way too easily. So I believe that we can be a lot healthier and a lot more vibrant than we actually are if we're giving our bodies what we need. All right. And as we'll learn, we don't find that in our foods as often as we would like to these days. So supplementation is actually a necessity that's disguising itself as a luxury these days. So think about that as we move forward. All right, so energy. Are you looking for more? Are you one of those people that's popping an energy drink midway through the day, maybe at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, trying to make it till 5? So if that's you, you're going to circle yourself. Or if you have friends and family, if you guys would be, and you're open to writing down their names, do that, and then we'll get back with the person who invited you. If you're any of the people that I invited on here today, make sure that you circle these things and we'll get back together. Text me, email me, private message, however, whatever is easiest. Okay, and then weight loss. Who's interested in that or who needs it? Most of us have at least 5 fluffy friends that we'd like to help get in better shape, okay? Joint and ligament, blood sugar maintenance, heart health, respiratory health. So there's all sorts of little subcategories in these. Digestive health is another one. Now that, oh my gosh, you guys are putting, it's kind of bubbling over right now as we speak. So I'll come back to that later. But anyway, digestive health is a big one. Lots of people are having trouble with that. Improved sense of well-being. I think more and more, there's so many people that have so much stress in their life, and it just keeps on going. It's a cascade of events in our life. Pain and inflammation. I don't know if you know that, but you'll learn more about it today. That inflammation is really the start of so many disease states in our bodies. Muscle and foot relief, healthy immune system. Now that we are moving into the cold and flu season, you want to think about that. Skin health and improved sleep, okay? And then if there's any other concerns that you're thinking about or have that weren't mentioned here, go ahead and jot those down. Do you take vitamins or herbals of any kind? Are you under the supervision of a health professional? This is really key for us to understand because we want to be able to help you as best we can. And what I always recommend to people, if you see anything that intrigues you here today and you want to go ahead and move forward with that, then if you are on a prescription med, you'll want to share it with your doctor. But the way that I like to verbalize with doctors and health professionals are, is there anything in this that will hurt me? Because as the education system works for health professionals, they're getting a lot of, once you're getting sick, how are they helping you? How are you getting back to health? And I'll tell you, there's certainly a place for that, because this summer, my husband and I went through some pretty significant health challenges, and we need those doctors and we need the hospitals and everything they can do for us. But what we're talking about today is what can we do to keep ourselves healthier before then? All right. And then do you take prescription meds? And that goes along with the health professional comments that I just made. Now, the other extremely important question on here is is there any reason you would not be willing to use a product that would address the concerns that you maybe circled above? Okay, so whatever that may be. If you're my person, get back to me. Let me know if you have any concerns or what might be holding you back, and we'll talk about that. All right. So then the next one that we're going to look at, this is a nutritional wellness. It's a suggested program. There's only 2 products on here tonight, or this morning, I should say, that we're not going to talk about, and that's vitamin D with K2 and magnesium. But those products, you've probably been hearing about them, whether it be on TV or seeing them in magazines or anything. Significant products, but we just can't go over everything. So that's why we're not adding those on. But there's a note column on the right that you can see. So when you get a hold of this, please just take notes as we're going through it today. And then in the future, we'll get these handouts to you, like I mentioned. And the next thing is the order form, okay? The order form has the retail cost on it as well as the code. So what I would encourage you to do is talk again with the person that invited you. You can order right from their website, or you can, go to them and talk. But if you're on the website, the name of the product is on here and the code number is on here as well. And then all the information for credit card and things like that. Because at the end of the session today, you're going to want to make a decision whether or not you want to move forward, buy some of the products right away, or really get more information. So make sure you're taking notes. Okay? All right. The reason we're doing this, I mentioned it before, the average vegetables found in today's supermarket is anywhere from 5 to 40% lower in minerals than those harvested 50 years ago. All right. Our soils are not getting replenished. And we're looking at magnesium, iron, calcium, and zinc, significant minerals. They're not getting replenished. We need to supplement to really get what we need out of our diet today. All right. And that's the first place to go. So this isn't all about supplementation, but it's about eating right, making the right choices with your food, and then moving forward from there. All right. So with that, what's going to happen next is we are going to click on a video. Whoops, there you guys are. Hi. And so go ahead, listen up to these guys, and then we're going to have another one on the daily essentials.
North Hagen. I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Sheryl Duchess. This woman is brilliant. A certified naturopathic doctor, a master herbalist. I've learned so much about health and wellness and digestion from Dr. Sheryl. Really appreciate your knowledge. I think one of the reasons I'm so passionate about the whole program is because there's so many issues with us as Americans, with our Western diet, with the lack of real true nutrition and supplements. And I think that one of the biggest issues that people deal with is digestion, all these things at the core, and digestion is what are some of the symptoms that people know if they are having issues with digestion? Well,
Can't hear the video.
I can't hear. I don't know if anybody else can.
Nope, I can't either.
You can't hear the video.
I
Oh,
can't either.
Then the rest of the body, all the body systems are connected to it. The cardiovascular system, your lymphatic system, which is your immune system, even the brain. Okay, there is a major connection of the brain to the gut. Okay, so you're thinking and all that. So having a healthy GI tract is critical. And so many people, like you said, they suffer. And so some of the other things that people have is like acid reflux. There's such an overuse of antacids, which block stomach acid, which is a real problem. When you block stomach acid, your stomach is supposed to be acidic, so it breaks up the food that you eat so that you get the nutrients. And you're blocking stomach acid, it's going to cause you to be malnourished. And we see a lot of diseases like osteoporosis, and many breaks out your B vitamins. It really because you become deficient, and they're addictive as well. They're addictive.
Yeah, absolutely, it's so true. And so many of those products that you mentioned don't even absorb. Like you said, they block. They almost counteract what you think they're going to help you with.
Right.
So we'd love to discuss with you an incredible, there's a kit available. There's also individual components to help people with digestion, which is again a key component to optimal health.
Right.
Can we talk a little bit about the Ultimate Aloe? This is a product available from the health line.
Yes. The aloe juice is something, the aloe plant has been used since way back in Cleopatra's day. And aloe juice is amazing because what it can do is it actually been studied to go into how it works for a sunburn, right?
Right.
So what aloe juice does, if you get a real pure one, it can actually go in and soothe and calm and coat the inner parts of your digestive tract. everything from the mouth all the way to the other end, basically. Okay. And aloe juice has been studied to actually grow new epithelial cells. So again, the stomach lining, so ulcers, acid reflux, diverticulitis, irritable bowel, all those kinds of things. Aloe juice is such a natural plant, and it has that ability to really soothe and calm, and people just get great results with it. The one thing that I love about this particular aloe juice is they take whole leaf aloe, and then they freeze dry aloe, and they inject it into it. And so, so it's much higher in the active ingredients, or polysaccharides, they call it, okay, loaded with enzymes. But it actually, aloe has other properties that actually boost the immune. I've seen even children use it, families use it for, with flus and colds and just feeling like their immune is run down. Also, it's been studied to lower blood sugar. So it's really been great for even diabetics. So aloe juice is one of my favorite things I have in my cabinet to help people with digestion issues. And you take, how would you dose it? About 2 ounces, 2 to 3 times a day if there are issues, okay? And if you're just doing it for a maintenance program, 2 ounces a day. And it tastes amazing.
Delicious. And there's several flavors.
Yeah.
They're all good. This is mine, the pomegranate, which I love, but there's a kiwi strawberry, and there's original, and there's a cranberry.
Yeah.
They taste delicious.
Yeah.
There's also some digestive enzymes available from the isotonics line, which again is all about excellent absorption. We talked about this previously, but let's talk a little bit more about
things absorbed. Yeah. Well, the thing is that enzymes is what our body uses to break down your food. So when you eat a meal, you need stomach acid and you need enzymes. And as we get older, we start producing less of those enzymes, like hydrochloric acid and pepsin. And that's what will happen is, all of a sudden you don't have enough digestive enzymes. You eat a meal, and all of a sudden it's like an explosion happens, and the body is like, whoa, I don't have enough enzymes to break it up. So now it calls on more acid, and you get an overproduction of acid, all right? And that's what causes the acid reflux, okay? So by using a digestive enzyme, you take it after you eat your largest meals, it will actually liquefy your food for you. I've actually seen in a little test, we won't do it today, but you can actually pour digestive enzymes on top of a bowl of oatmeal, and it will liquefy it. Right?
Seriously.
Seriously. And this is why people feel the results. They don't have that, whoa, I just ate a huge meal. It'll calm it down, and it's fantastic. And another thing, you've probably heard the term leaky gut syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's an inflammation going on in the gut. Okay. And a lot of people do dairy, so casein in dairy and gluten in things like that can cause the inside of the small intestines to be inflamed. And what happens there is protein from your casein, your dairy, and things like that. Out of the bloodstream, that's okay. So it's a quite serious type of thing. But when we go to try to work with that naturopathically, we would do something like the aloe juice, because again, it's so actually promoting, helping those villi, and helping calming the inflammation of the gut. So really, really great. Aloe juice is fantastic for leaky gut syndrome. And then taking a digestive enzyme, so you break down the food, and again, that's going upstream and helping your body to digest those foods and get more nutrition from it.
It's amazing that our bodies are incredible, but there's only so much they can do without a little bit of help. And so that's incredible, and I love how natural the products are as well. There's also a probiotic that people should know about.
Right. Probiotics are so important because we do a lot of things, to destroy them. And so we have friendly bacteria in your gut, and friendly bacteria is there. It's really the first part of our defenders for our immune system. And so we need about 80% friendly bacteria, and they're actually little bugs, Callie, and then 20% unfriendly. That should be our balance. But because of the American diet with the sugars, the coffee, the overuse of antibiotics, that gets offset. And when the probiotics get offset, you won't be able to absorb your B vitamins. You won't be able to, you'll have low energy. And then we talk about the bloating and the gas. The biggest thing that I see with probiotics is people will bloat. That's a big sign that they're low. Also, yeast infections, okay? So when you take a good probiotic, all right, one that's got enough in it, you can really affect change. And I like to call it like an inoculation. of really planting those friendly bacteria back in there. And all my friends and stuff, when they start doing that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not bloating. I have the flat belly again. And it's really, really great. But also think about it, what it's doing for your immune system and being able to absorb those vitamins. So it's critical. But, you know, there's a lot on the market that are not.
I was just going to say that. Don't be fooled by what you see in advertisements and elsewhere. This line is at the top levels of all the friendly bacteria that your gut needs and the unfriendly bacteria. So it's really an excellent way to go. And I think everybody that's listening to this, you either relate to it because you're experiencing digestive problems, or you know somebody who is.
Absolutely. And so I want to just point out what a good friendly bacteria has, okay? So, you know, it's all about the strand. So the probiotic that I have in this line has 10 different strands, okay? So it's a broad spectrum. Some of that you'll buy on the market might just have one strand or two strands of bifidobacter. This is 10 different strands, so it's what we call a broad spectrum. And then it's 10 billion units, okay? Some of the ones you're going to get at the health food store and market might be 1 or 2 billion units. It's like spitting at a bonfire with a squirt gun, you know? And so what I love about these probiotics and the way they digest, so they're enteric coated. So when you take them in, it's going to get down to the gut where it needs to go, because stomach acid will actually destroy the friendly bacteria. And the live back and the biotract in this particular probiotic allows it to get into the gut where it needs to go. And that's why people get results with it and really find really great improvement with digestion and immune. And especially if you've been on an antibiotic, okay, you definitely, or you're a coffee drinker, pretty much all need to be something
Without a doubt. And you can buy them individually. You can remove the entire system as a kit, which
it's huge saving when you buy all three together as a kit in a kit.
Absolutely. So we would love for you to get in touch with the person that sent the video to you and get started, because we both believe that optimum health really begins at the core. And we want you to be on a journey towards feeling better, living a more active life.
And if you improve digestion, you're going to improve aspect of your health. Absolutely.
That's where it all begins. Thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, so that was the first part.
Hi, everybody. My name is Callie Northhagen. I am so glad you're.
Hopefully you guys caught some of the things they said. She mentioned the immune system with the aloe. So that's a great, we also have a standalone immune product, but which we're not talking about today. But the aloe for building immunity is huge, and so many other conditions that she actually rattled off and mentioned. And then think about the aging population with the enzymes, because as we age, we're not creating those enzymes, and our guts aren't breaking things down as they did. So I just thought in my head, I wonder, because my mom started eating so much less, I wonder if she just continued to be full and kind of bloated as she aged. So just some things to think about. And here is the next portion.
I'm joined by an amazing woman, Dr. Sheryl Duchess, who is a certified naturopathic doctor, a master herbalist. She changed my life. I've been on a mission for many years to be healthy. I saw my mom ail and get sick over the last 4 or 5 years, and I am so grateful to what you've taught me in regards to how to get to a place of optimal health. So first of all, thanks for being here. Absolutely. One of the things that really upsets me is how many Americans are ill and how many Americans just automatically turn to prescription drugs. It's not a good choice.
Yeah, no. And, you know, by the time someone's 50, 60 years old, they're on sometimes 5, 6, 7 different medications that interact. And prescription drugs overdose is now the leading cause of injury-related death. It's so risky. And yet people don't know which way to turn because of lack of education, really. It's true. Because medications have a lot of what we call a downward cycle, because there's always a side effect, because the body doesn't recognize them. There's no effect. But when you do more natural things and you give the body what it needs, feed nutrients into the body, then the body has a chance to actually heal itself. And that's the basic principles of naturopathy, which I've just helped so many people.
I know you've been doing what you do for many, many years. And what we're here to do today is really educate everybody about a better way to get to a good place of optimal health. And so one of the things that I know changed my life several months ago was when I was introduced to isotonics. And I really want to talk a little bit about each of the products so you guys can understand why this is a better choice for you, or maybe somebody that you care and love. And I certainly appreciate the fact that with so many deficiencies in our own American or Western diet, you know, we all have good intentions. We try to buy organic. We make good choices, we think. But most people are, if you're taking supplements, you're taking capsules or tablets. And I've learned through you that they just don't digest in our systems the way isotonics does.
Right. And, you know, it's just so true. The InHane study showed in 2006 people with vitamin E, vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, mineral deficiencies. And again, when you give the body what it needs, it's just like feeding fertilizer into a plant and it will flourish, okay? But I found out with supplementation that tablets, especially when you do multivitamin, minerals, they don't easily break down. And even a good tablet might get 20-30%. So I actually found this isotonic line when I was looking for IV therapy for patients because, you know, when someone is very, very ill, again, giving them the right nutrients. So isotonics are totally different. They're powder, and when you mix them with water, they become the same osmolarity as your bodily fluids. And so the body doesn't have to digest it. It hits the stomach. You drink it on an empty stomach. And then you wait about 10-15 minutes after you drink it before you eat it. The beautiful thing is the bioavailability is happening because, again, it's like almost like an IV of nutrients. Okay? The absorption is there, much higher than a tablet would ever be.
Absolutely. And I feel frustrated that so many people are wasting so much money buying tablets that don't even get absorbed into the body. So they're giving us no benefit whatsoever.
Exactly.
So thank you for addressing the delivery system, because that is the key to the isotonics way of life. What we've got between us is actually a kit called the Daily Essentials, and they really work beautifully together in tandem to give our body a lot of the deficiencies that we're dealing with right now. Would you mind going through the kit with us?
Sure.
Maybe
Absolutely.
one at a time?
Absolutely.
There we go.
Let's start with the multivitamin. Well, multivitamin is so important because, again, as we just found out, we're deficient in C's, E's, beta-carotene, those kind of things. And a multivitamin gives you that base. But more importantly, the reason I always want a client or a patient on a multi is because the minerals, we're very mineral deficient, and without good minerals, you will have symptoms like, you know, cramping of your legs, you know, fatigue, even leading to, you know, a lot of imbalances with your electrolytes. And so taking a multivitamin is one of the most important things, but doing it in tablet form is really minerals. It's like asking your stomach to break up a rock. And so I love these. They taste great. And again, you just mix it with water. So multivitamin is so important for that base.
Absolutely. That's one of the components of Daily Essentials. The other is calcium, which both men and women really need, but we don't need too much.
Right, exactly, exactly. And so again, this is isotonic, so it's ionized calcium. There's 5 different elemental calciums. And when you do a tablet calcium, many times people get nauseous because, again, the stomach acid is trying to break it up. In isotonic, it's bioavailable. And because it's ionized, you're going to receive it. And I actually have worked with several patients over the years that had osteoporosis, and through isotonics, through other things that we do, calcium, we do vitamin D, we do some super antioxidants, I've seen actually osteoporosis reversed. And you only want about 300 to 375 milligrams in your calcium because that's what we can actually absorb at one time. So with this particular one, we do 1 in the morning and then 1 before you go to bed. The beautiful thing is calcium will help you sleep better, and a lot of people report they have less leg cramping and things like that. And so it's great. It's great for sleep, and it's great for muscle spasms.
I've definitely noticed that as a side benefit. So thank you for, and then activated B. this is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah. So many people are deficient in Bs, and you've heard the buzzword about adrenal fatigue.
Yes.
It's a hot topic right now,
I dealt with it several years ago.
Well, the thing is that our adrenals get exhausted when we're under a lot of stress, and we're very deficient in B vitamins because, again, we're not getting them from our food source. And the key now that is being researched is activated Bs. So B6, B12, and folic acid. Those are so critical. And without them, you'll have fatigue, even depression, a lot of attention deficit problems, things like that. You can't even absorb your carbohydrates, your fats, and your proteins without Bs, okay? And so, again, B12, energy, we all know that, right? And so these are isotonic Bs, so they're going to go into the bloodstream really, really quickly. And I love it because they are, again, activated Bs, which means your body can absorb them. And a lot of people genetically aren't absorbing their Bs. And I've seen great results with people having energy, having a lot more focus, and they're just fantastic.
Amazing, amazing product. But my favorite of all is the OPC3, and I know I'm not alone.
Yeah.
This has alone changed so many people's lives. And I've learned from you through this relationship how many people are dealing with illness because of inflammation. And
Right.
so many things start with inflammation.
Yes.
And that's just the beginning.
Yes.
OPC3, tell us about this.
Well, and I'm so glad you mentioned inflammation because we look at the body naturopathically, we look at a couple of root causes of diseases, and having inflammation, chronic inflammation can really lead you to diseases, serious ones like even cancer, okay? And so having a natural anti-inflammatory, all right, is what this is. And it's an antioxidant. And you probably heard the term antioxidant, and you know like vitamin C is an antioxidant. Well, antioxidants basically fight free radical damage. And free radical damage is what causes aging, what causes us to have risk of cancer, what causes arthritis. So having a super antioxidant fights that for us. And so what's in this is basically there's grapeseed extract, pine bark extract, bilberry, and red wine extract. And they're all in this isotonic base. And so clinical studies have been done on these ingredients. You've heard the term pygnogenol maybe, okay? And that's out of a pine bark out of France. And the clinical studies have been amazing as getting inflammation out. So when we talk about inflammation, you talk about things like headaches. You talk about things like arthritis. You talk about inflammatory even with the skin, okay? So one of the things that OPCs have been so strong to do is inflammation. So a lot of people that have chronic arthritis, migraine headaches, those stuff they have noticed relief because of the anti-inflammatory effect.
Oh, and the stories and the testimonials are plentiful.
They really are. And then I want to interrupt you because I want to talk about the other thing. OPC is such a strong antioxidant that it processes in the body. And when we have problems with your skin, usually like things like psoriasis, acne, skin problems, naturopathically look at your liver, okay? That means you've got toxins in the liver. OPC is such a powerful antioxidant when you take it, especially in a little bit of a higher dose, it flushes out the liver. And so people have reported major results with psoriasis and acne and also collagen. And so major with helping us with our wrinkles, right, as we age. And I love it because anything that builds collagen is not only good for your joints, but it's good for our skin. Okay, joint pain is another one. People really with degraded joint problems have seen results because of the anti-inflammatory effect.
Absolutely amazing product. Now the kit is all 4 components that Dr. Sheryl just went through. This is something that is easy to take. You put a capsule or 2 of each in a glass.
Yep. You take this little cap off here. This is your water cap. Okay. Use this, okay? You pour the powder into the little top cap here, and we like to use our cups. We pour the powder into there, and then you fill the water mark right up to the amount of servings. So if you did 4 of these, you would fill it up to number 4, or 8 ounces of water. 2 ounces of water for every capful of isotonic.
It's so easy. And for people who travel a lot or are really busy, there's another way of getting these supplements into your life through these packets, which are super convenient. They include every one of the components of the kit, the OPC3, the multivitamin, the activated B complex, and the calcium plus. So this is another really convenient way to get this into your life. Tell us a little.
One more thing.
Sure.
I wanted to just mention that so many people suffer with allergies.
Oh, right.
And I was absolutely amazed when I first started using this product line. And I had a lot of people with pretty serious disease, and I was using great success, with the product. But they come back like an arthritis patient, and they say, "Oh my gosh, I don't need my Claritin." Well, it's because this has such an amazing history. So those allergy sufferers, I want them to know that this really, really works.
Great point. Thank you for adding that.
And cardiovascular. Did I mention that? Well, again, number one killer is heart disease, right? Okay. And so OPC was clinically studied to lower C-reactive proteins by 52%. That means that it helps with the inflammation inside of the arteries, right? And it balances out the nitric oxide, so it opens the blood vessels up to get better blood flow. And that's why there was a clinical study, again, on OPCs that showed it lowered both blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar in a clinical trial by 10%. Wow. So again, that's why I'm so in love with this product line, because I've seen so many actual results so quickly with people. And again, I feel it's because of the absorption, that isotonic absorption.
I agree, and I think that's why myself and everybody else I've shared this with see such immediate benefits and feel so much better.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. We have one chance on this earth, and we're in charge of our own health. Nobody else can do it for you.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of ways that we'd love to invite you to try this. Get in touch with the person who sent you the email.
Okay, so I'm just going to go back and review. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. The other thing that I do that we can't do obviously when we're on Zoom, but I always give samples of the product. So I would do a digestive enzyme. I'd mix that up and give that to them. Anybody that's in our home with us, and then as well as the aloe. So we do that after we talk about the digestive health. And then now moving into the daily essentials, we go ahead and mix that up and give people samples. Because we want to make sure that they're feeling like they're going to use it. I don't know if any of you are like me, but I drink something or I taste something and I'm always like, will I take it? How compliant will I be? So that's just kind of a test in compliance for them. So that's what we do with that. The absorption amount, she talked a little bit about the villi. This is another thing that you want to, go back and maybe educate yourself on a little bit. If we are all stuck up and are gummed up and our villi can't absorb, even if we do take the best supplements, it's going to take longer for those to get into our system. So I always really do like to try to get my patients or my clients on the digestive health first to make sure that their systems are cleaned out and that villi is ready to absorb the nutrients that we are taking in, whether it be our food or they decide to take supplements. Okay. Again, she mentioned that our B vitamins are activated. All right. So that's a high absorption rate. I mean, our bodies will accept them then. Whereas a lot of the B vitamins out there are not activated, and that's why our gene snip came into play when we started finding out that a lot of people couldn't absorb them. So that's when Isotonics started saying, okay, we're going to make those in an activated form so people are getting the most bang for their buck. Okay. Now we'll go back, start this other slideshow and finish up for you guys. Move these people right in my way. Okay, so there's just a few other things that I want to talk about that rise to the top. A few more products that I wanted to go over, and that's sleep. It was mentioned a little bit, but a lot of people just aren't getting enough sleep. And I was actually at a program with my daughter for toddlers, and they're talking about between 11 and 13 hours of sleep at that age. So we should be getting between 7 and 9. So check your schedule, see if you guys are getting enough sleep and what is it that's keeping you awake at night. There we go. One of the new products that we have is Turn Down. So, I didn't want to do that, darn it. Why is this thing in my way? Anyway, I'm not going to keep. So a natural sleep aid is the turn down, and it's going to help just enhance and stabilize your mood. So if you're feeling a lot of stress, like we talked about before, that was one of the questions on our survey. Turn down is going to help with that. So you don't need to worry about just taking it at night, because it will help during the day for the calmness and the relaxation as well. All right. But it does promote sleep, and it contains L-tryptophan and magnesium, which are helpful with that. Okay. And then omegas are another one that I wanted to spend a little bit of time on today. The majority of Americans are deficient. Okay. This helps control inflammation in our body. So you want to look at that, because as Dr. Duchess said, that's one of the things that rises to the top and really is a part of many of the disease processes that are going on in all of our lives. Right. Also, it may decrease the risk of cardiovascular illness and stroke, and improve mood and cognitive health. Who doesn't need that? Like, did anyone lose their keys yet today, or forget where they put them? Anything like that? We can get them fatty fish, nuts, some eggs, flaxseed, avocados, green leafy vegetables, those types of things. But if you're not getting enough, you want to make sure that you're looking at a good fish oil. All right. EPA and DHA are what you really want to be looking at. Studies are showing that we need at least 3 grams to get full benefit. So what I want to tell you is, if you are just maintenance, you're feeling healthy, you're feeling good, you don't have any cardiovascular issues, you don't feel like you have a lot of inflammation in your body, you can probably do half of that, and that would be fine for maintenance. But if you've got some issues going on, you're going to want to look at the 3 grams, and you want to make sure that the EPA and DHA are high in those. All right. Then another thing is a gentle cleanse. Now, this is a kickstart. I use it a lot when I start people off on a weight management program. We do a 7-day detox. Now, with that being said, there's a couple of the information pieces on here, and people are like, oh my God, how can I give up coffee, or how can I not do sugar, or whatever? But really think about your health benefits and start slow. Just make sure that you're doing you're taking care of yourself, you're getting enough rest, you're putting in some of those good vegetables that are out there. And if you can do organic, do organic. But if not, make sure that you're just making colorful choices, okay? And that's another slide talks about that. But there's great herbs for liver cleansing, which Dr. Duchess just talked about in the liver. Herbs for bowel cleansing. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but we're taking food in, and we better be eliminating it on a regular basis, which is once or twice a day. Otherwise, we're going to start having, more health issues. There's fiber in here, probiotics in here, and you combine this with the dietary modifications, like eliminating the caffeine I mentioned, the sugar, meat, dairy, wheat. So what I would say is, if you or your clients are like, oh my God, how I could never do that, have them do 3 days. Say, okay, you know what? Let's do 3 days. When you get to 3 days, what's that look like for you? Okay. And then make sure that it's isotonic. She went over the delivery system, and this is where I wanted to talk a little bit more, about the villi. I've already done that. I don't need to go over it again. But if our systems are not ready to absorb the good nutrition that we put in there, then, the isotonics is even going to take longer than it would if you have a good absorption system going on with you, if your villi are in good shape to accept everyone or everything. So the delivery time is much shorter. It's not sitting in your gut. It gets in there and it's ready to be absorbed because of the isotonicity. Right. This is just an example of the color of foods that we should be eating. And oxidation, when I talk to my clients about oxidation, I talk about an apple turning brown after you take a bite of it, or our cars start rusting, especially we're in the Midwest. So Minnesota, Wisconsin, we have salt on our vehicles. They're out in the cold and the snow and all of that ick. And so the rust starts coming on. So you're looking to eat more berries and colorful fruits. All right. I brought up isotonics OPC again because it really is the gold standard of an antioxidant out there. So please, if nothing else intrigued you about today, which I would find hard to believe because there's so much good information, but talk to the person that invited you about OPC3 because it really is helping a lot of people with many out there. Okay. Changing your perception of vegetables. I like this. One of our lead doctors in the NutraMetrix field talks about having a good colorful diet and making sure that your veggies, you know, our diet really should be plant-based. But she, as well as I, believe in supplementing that plant-based diet with animal some sort, 2 to 3 times a day. I mean, I don't eat just the colorful fruits and veggies. I eat a lot of them. We start our day with that. My husband is fabulous about cutting up vegetables. We just have a fresh bowl cut every day, and that's where we start. So find ways to make it convenient, tasty, and fun, because that's otherwise, you know, when it gets to be too much of a job. So make it a family affair. We all go grocery shopping, bring them back, and really involve, you know, if you have small kids, have them help you chop them up, and they'll be tasting them and nibbling on them in the process. All right. If you guys are struggling with that, which a lot of people do, bring in the backup. Complete greens are something that are very good. It's equivalent to 8 salads a day. There's vegetable and herbal profile in it. It promotes body cleansing. It really boosts energy and vitality. And we're all looking for that, right? So this is another good product that you could have as a backup. All right. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about today, although I need to come back and share my screen because I am going to show you what this pudding looks like. I want you guys to think about humor and how often are you guys getting a really good belly laugh. That's something that's really important. I mean, more of us need to laugh more often. It really does reduce stress. Laughter is the best medicine. We've heard that, and at least I've heard that since little on. Helps us maintain a positive attitude. So with that, I am going to close out this, come back to our screen. Now, can you guys, do you see a big picture of me or do you see me at all?
We see you live.
Okay, so I'm glad you see me. Now, okay, when I'm holding this up, can you see this pudding, you guys? Or not?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened, I mean, can you tell how liquefied it got?
Yes.
Right, okay, so I like to make this interactive, obviously. All right, I'm gonna put it down before I spill it all over everything, because that would give us all a good laugh. Maybe I should just spill it and you guys could see it. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go with that. I'm gonna end the meeting, but thank you so much for being here. Get with the person that invited you, get that health survey done, and get your questions answered. All right, with that, have a good belly laugh today. Enjoy your day. Stay healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.